And finally, the expectations are over! After several months, the third episode of Digital Circus is finally released on the Glitch channel, though we're a bit late, I know that. Not only did it fully meet the expectations of fans, but it can even be said that episode 3 was really better than the previous episodes. This episode was even more successful in terms of direction and setting than the other ones, and this time we witnessed a huge character development, something that is unique and cannot be found in any animation. Let's say in general that the third part is the star of the show so far. So far, we have realized that each episode of the series is probably going to have a new and unique theme. The theme of the third part was based on horror, which handled the atmosphere very well. This is a really remarkable achievement for an indie animation team. Well, let us begin with the main subject, the theories. Hey everybody, Ella's here and welcome back to our channel. Let's jump right into the theories. The first one. In this theory, we are going to talk about Kane's strange behavior. Well, Kane behaves strangely in principle, but you definitely noticed that as the timeline passes and moves forward, these strange behaviors won't become less and they show themselves even more. Typical examples of these behaviors, such as glitching, is something that the audience are kinda used to seeing. But the thing that the audience didn't get used to is that the whole circus in Kane glitches.
Whose therapy session is this again? Oh yeah!
We already know that Kane is powerful, but the thing that maybe Kane and the circus are connected together is a whole separate thing. This clue that the third episode gave us changes a lot of things. Because we know now that the existentialism of Kane is connected to the circus, and the existentialism of the circus is also connected to Kane. It means that if something happens to Kane, the circus and everything inside it will eventually get destroyed. And given Kane's personal inconsistencies, it's not far-fetched that this could happen soon. Well, let me prove my point. Kane doesn't have any feelings like any other AI and follows a series of protocols and algorithms. These protocols include that if someone doesn't participate in the adventures, the robot has to go and make them participate. And as far as we know, preventing the participants from going crazy is also one of Kane's protocols. That's why Kane went to talk to Zubul, because that was part of his programming. But an emotionless robot certainly can't counsel a dispirited, depressed person who is probably trapped in a circus until they die, can it? As we saw in the end, it was Zubul who was advising Kane. So what we know is that Kane is sensitive to a bunch of words and can unconsciously break up or manipulate his code. Those words are things that are considered ineffective in Kane's robot brain. Because Kane has to be useful. He has to be able to help people in the circus. If someone like Zubul tells him that it's not useful, he's definitely going to have a glitch or a collapse, especially a robot like Kane that's so unstable. Right, Kane doesn't have feelings, but he's very smart. Smart enough to understand a lot of things. And with all of this in mind, it can be predicted that in the upcoming episodes, Kane will finally collapse, and the circus and the people in it maybe get destroyed along with him. The second theory. Honestly, Kinger was the only character that I didn't expect anything interesting out of him. Yes, it's true that he's been in the circus for a long time, but even if he's seen something, he's not going to remember. But it turns out that Kinger's memories are not as scattered as we thought. Kinger actually can remember things by being in a certain environment or situation. And that gives us hope for Kinger. Maybe he could help more with the mystery of the circus in the next episodes. And apart from that, we realize that Kinger is an understanding character and can communicate the characters properly at the right time. He can take the characters away from distraction, and Kinger does it better than Kane. I say this because characters like Zubul and Ragatha also tried to comfort Pomni or calm her down, but they didn't succeed. But Kinger was able to communicate well with Pomni, and to a great extent, Kinger is exactly the same character that gave Pomni's personality a boost. So let's go to the theories of Kinger and his wife. There's a few theories about this that say that Kinger's wife is actually an illusion and is created by Kinger's mind himself so that he can cope with the atmosphere of the circus. Because we saw that Kinger has a sensitive personality and his mind is also somewhat flawed. So it can be said that this theory makes so much sense. It gets even better when we pay attention to one small detail, that one of how Kinger got married in the circus. The circus is a digital world where even if we assume that they really fell in love, how could they marry without any real priests or even seeing their physical bodies? You see, it really doesn't make sense. Even if we say that they got married before they went to the circus, they shouldn't remember it. How are they supposed to remember if they don't even know their own name? Of course, this is not the only theory in this regard. The next theory says that Kinger's memories of his wife doesn't even exist, and it's fake. It's fake because Kane made it for him so he doesn't go crazy. Because we know that Kane is so powerful in the circus, and he has good control over the characters. He would do anything to be efficient simply by carrying out a protocol that is his primary and first goal. That's why he did it to Kinger. Even Kane knew that Kinger was in love with insects and manipulated his mind as if he had this interest from his wife.
I used to hate bugs, but she somehow got me to like them.
Maybe that's why Kinger's brain's like this, because of Kane's manipulations. His memories have been cut off due to mental manipulations, and his personality has been largely destroyed. And this proves once again how dangerous Kane is to the other characters. Third theory. So let's head to Jax. Yes, again, Jax. I know. Well, what can I say? It's not my fault that Glitch, the channel that created this animation, has to put a few new important points in each episode of the show. Honestly, the theories about this character are so much more than Pomni's, who is literally the main character. Anyhow, let me tell you a few things I noticed about Jax. Well, first thing first, I'm sure you saw Jax pointing directly at the camera again.
What do you, the viewers, think it is?
It was early in the episode that Jax officially looked into the camera and spoke directly to the audience, or broke the so-called fourth wall, and Zubul told him that he should cut it out. It means that they still don't know that there are any audience watching them. So now we can be sure that Jax is quite different from the rest of the characters, right? We don't know if this difference is good or not, but we know that it exists. The next point is about how he hinders the process of completing the missions, and it's always kind of annoying to the characters. And almost all the characters hate Jax every time he tries to make things even harder for every one of them. Well, we have reached the end of this video. Again, we have to wait, and my patience is already wearing thin. We have no choice but to wait for the fourth episode, and according to the Glitch channel, it will probably be released in 3 or 4 months. So until the next video, see ya!